Nottingham, Luton, Burnley and Sheffield United make up the last 3. So Palace in no real danger at this point of being dragged in to the relegation battle. It's them that will kick us off. Got a false start here because a few players have decided to hit the knee. But that was out of fashion these days. Nothing wrong with a bit of virtue signalling before the match. So off we go. Palace will finally get us underway. We're here for the football, not for the politics. And Anderson launches long. Palace going from right to left. It's the blue and reds. That's the strip with the white numbers, blue shorts, blue socks for them. City in the away strip. And the white with the maroon shorts, white socks. They are the away side, so we'll go through their lineup first. Stefan Ortega in goal, a 4-1-4-1 for Pep Guardiola today, as usual. So Ortega in goal, Nico Lewis on the right side of defence, Josko Gvardiol on the left, Ruben Diaz and John Stones, the central defensive partnership. Stones is in the sides, and we're going to have changes up forward. Rodri in the middle still, and Julian Alvarez retains his starting place. Kevin De Bruyne is in for Silva. Doku is out for Grealish. Foden out for Haaland. And Akanji made way for Stones. Oscar Bob on the right side of the attack as they come down that way now. And City through De Bruyne try the crossing from the right half space. They've won a corner, the first of the game. So a good bright start from the citizens who are here. They mean business by the look of things. 90 seconds in. First set piece for them. De Bruyne goes over to take it. Up comes John Stones to offer an aerial threat. Can he get a good vertical leap here, though? It's marked by Anderson. Mateta's back to defend. And Palace need to repel the first siege. Haaland almost unmarked at the moment. Looks as though he's going to get a run at it. Very nearly got there if it wasn't for a hefty boot away to safety. Now it's out from Alvarez. From the right side again they'll come. And Palace so far clogging up those central spaces in the corridor. Back to the keeper Ortega from Rodri. City will try again halfway with Gvardiol. Now down the left, Grealish coming very deep to help out the Croatian defender who joined for 90 million euros at the start of the season from RB Leipzig. Former Dinamo Zagreb player as well. No goals, no assists so far, but he's going to try and support Grealish on that left side. We saw them get very high against Arsenal. Arsenal is happy to assume the low block, and so is Crystal Palace right now. Third minute in is 0-0 at Selhurst Park. Stones can walk it forward into the attacking half. Up against Mateta. Tried a dinky pass through. Palace will go on the counter. Mateta's in behind here. Stones is lagging. Mateta's through into the area. He'll come and launch the shot and find the corner because it's hit the left post and then smashed off the woodwork into the other side of the goal. Looked like it might not have gone in, but Jean-Philippe Mateta keeps up his good goal scoring form. City reeling. Palace, well, the Glazers, they are celebrating here, reveling in this at Selhurst Park. Guardiola can't believe it. It's the first time Palace have touched the ball, but they have the opening goal. And it all started with that Stones pass forward. It went beyond the man, which was Alvarez. Quick passing from, that's Eze Hughes that put the ball through here. And Mateta, well, that's clinical, in from the right half space. Off the right boot, across the keeper. It was curling away from the goal, but still made it just inside the post. Doesn't get better than that from the Brig ex-Mainz man, Le Havre Lyon. It's his best year in the Premier League with 7 goals since he joined from the German outfit. And fist pump to celebrate. And why not? It's a great start for Crystal Palace, and definitely a whiff of hope for Arsenal and Liverpool in that one. It's Mateta through on goal, and he had the pace to get away from Stones, who failed to recover, couldn't atone for the wayward pass. back from the kickoff. It's Stones and Diaz come up against Adam Wharton. Will go through the Palace starting 11 now. Dean Henderson in goal. Locking Anderson in front of him. A three-man defence with Joel Ward and Jefferson Lerma. Grealish coming down the left wing at the moment. He took a tumble. Away comes Ward, but there's a free kick here from referee Paul Tierney. So Daniel Munoz on the right side of the fence of midfield, the wing back there. Tarek Mitchell, left wing back. Will Hughes, Adam Wharton in the middle with Luis Eze, Jordan Ayew, and of course no introduction needed for Jean-Philippe Mateta, who scored. City with a set piece, just about a yard in from the left touchline. De Bruyne standing over this about 15 yards back from the corner flag. In it comes, good looping delivery. There's a fist from Dean Henderson to send it out for another corner. It's the second one of the game for City. Stats will show you that the XG is 0.66. Probably that's because City had a shot on target and it actually went in. So City still with a flat line, 0-0-0, despite having all the ball. Now Alvarez down that right side with De Bruyne. They've taken this short, and it comes into the near post. A free header for Guardiola, looking to break his Premier League duck. He sent it to the right of the right post. He was able just to lose his man. Hung off the back of Joel Ward, who claimed that he was pushed by the Croatian. Header off target, had good power behind it. 7th minute, Crystal Palace 1, Manchester City 0. The first of a whole string of games in the Premier League today. Aston Villa, Brentford coming up with Everton, Burnley, Fulham, Newcastle, Luton, Bournemouth, Wolves, West Ham, and Brighton, Arsenal is the late to kick off at 5:30 local time, right on the south coast of England. Offside call here. St. Palace come forward down the right wing. There's Eze, who was offside. Let's go through the omissions today. There's a whole stack of those, and that's why Jefferson Lerma's playing at the back. Broken away here, just temporarily with Wharton. Couldn't find an accurate pass for Eze out in the left wing. It would have brought him closer to goal. He's disappointed. The young man who transferred over from Blackburn. It's a good interplay between Eze and also Ayew, but it's gone off the Ghanaian directly out for a goal kick. So Doucouré, Guehi, Holding, Johnston, Matthias Franca, Raksaki and Richards all missing for Glasner and Crystal Palace, who have looked brilliant on the counter-attack. Ake and Walker out for Guardiola and Manchester City. So the benches: Kanji, Doku, Edison, Foden, Gomez, Kovacic, Nunez, Silva and Suho. It's the Sky Blues bench for Palace. You have to defend. It's a long ball forward to Haaland, but Munoz is back there. Looks to clear down the line. He's only found De Bruyne, still with Grealish, lurking outside the box. Now Rodri to take it backwards. It's a good hustle here from Wharton. They got a toe to the ball, but Guardiola regather. Grealish will win a throw. So the Palace bench: Ahamada, Klein, Edouard, Matthews, Olise, Ozo, Schlupp, Tompkins and Ume. But half a dozen injuries or so for them. City with the ball, centre field, Stones. Now Diaz playing at left centre back. Goes laterally to Guardiola. There's Will Hughes to soak up the pressure, retain the ball. Another loose pass from City. But Palace can't get out of danger. Picked back up by Rodri in his attacking half. Guardiola needs an option, but there's tight spaces to work with, so he goes back to Diaz. Ruben Diaz, 26 years old, no goals. It's not Guardiola this season. No goal threat from that left side of defence for City, but there is one here with Bob, the Norwegian. That's a lovely ball in from Bob, and it's cleared away. The cutback came, and Palace can thank their lucky stars at the back there. But Anderson and Ward were awake to the threat, because Bob had broken the line with a cheeky little through ball. Alvarez came in from the right side of the 6-yard box, cut it back, and Palace were there with a couple of players to defend the situation. 10 minutes into the game, City trailing by a goal to nil at Selhurst Park. Just joined us, Jean-Philippe Mateta with the opening goal in the 4th minute. Put through on goal and was able to run into the box, pick out the bottom left corner from the right side of the box. Again, City coming in that away strip in their own shorts. Bob, now Lewis. Here comes Alvarez, wants to open it up on the left boot, but it's blocked. It's a wonderful block by Jefferson Ledma, who's playing at left back today. He's marking up on Haaland now and has to defend again. The volley comes back in, and what a save that is off the line by Henderson with a fingertip save. That is one of the finest saves you'll see all season, because Rodri got there off that Ledma header. He took it away from Haaland. Rodri on the follow-up slid and volleyed. It was harrowing into the bottom right corner, but Henderson, outstretched, turns it behind for another corner. 11th minute. Alvarez standing over this, goes short and finds Oscar Bob. Diminutive little winger. Here's De Bruyne. Put it towards the penalty spot. Again, Palace defending. Out of the box to the left wing for City. Grealish and Rodri up against Ledma, who's come well out of his left back position. He's at right wing at the moment. Clearance. And again, De Bruyne is there, centre field to pick it up. Wants the 1-2 with Haaland. Wharton's there. Toe pokes it forward. Didn't get a free kick for taking a hit from behind. Referee Tierney says play on, and Vardiol out to Grealish. Ayew doing a lot of running off the ball here to try and just put a body in those free spaces. It's very, very compact, and it's a shoehorn, as Sean Dyche would call it, many other coaches. So City just swinging it from side to side like they did against Arsenal. And they do against most sides, and they'll probably try and do against Real Madrid in the next game away at the Bernabeu in the Champions League. Rodri won the Champions League for them. Pass goes into the box. It's hooked away by Ledma. Seems to be everywhere at the moment. 29-year-old Colombian, 5 years with Bournemouth, first year since leaving the south of England along that coastline where Brighton is, and Portsmouth and Plymouth down that way. Plymouth not doing too well in the Championship. But he's a former Levante and Huila player back home in his native Colombia. Munoz joined from Genk into the January window. Another Colombian on the right side of midfield for Palace today. Played for Athletic Nacional back in Colombia. Here's Grealish. That's a lovely cutback to find De Bruyne, who opens up the angle, finds the top corner. That is beautiful. A thing of stunning beauty from Kevin De Bruyne. It is 1-1 at Selhurst Park, his second goal of the campaign. And what a fiery start we have. That is world class. And that is why Pep Guardiola loves Kevin De Bruyne. 9th year at the club, 76 million euro signing. All the way back then. Grealish was able, with the presence of mind, to find Kevin De Bruyne on that left side of the box. He cut back in, hit it on the right side. That is into the roof of the net in that top right corner. And I thought that Mateta's finish was clinical. Well, this is even better. (1-1) Selhurst Park, Palace and City. Here's Wharton now from the kickoff, down the middle. It was double teamed, so back is Rico Lewis. 19-year-olds. He's a City youth player, valuation of 36 million now. He scored a goal against Palace back on match day 17. Grealish getting the other one. And Mateta and Olise had the goals for Palace that day. That was at the Etihad as Palace come in from the right side out towards Eze. Didn't get a foot to it. It was a ball knocked in with real pace, sweeping across from the right wing, and everyone on their feet at Selhurst Park hoping that Eze would latch on to the end of that. Adam Wharton with baptism of fire up against De Bruyne today, the first time they're meeting since Wharton left Blackburn, also in the January window for 21 million euros, or the valuations there on the flash score for those that want to know. And he scored 2 goals, provided 8 assists for Blackburn in the Championship. He's come to Palace and now had to try and block that shot that De Bruyne hit in the top corner. Difficult marking job, but he's been good, Wharton. Anderson, a bit of loose possession at the back, Will Hughes fighting for it. Gets it out towards the left wing. It can be put down from Ayew to Eze and be shepherded out by John Stones, who should be part of Southgate's England squad. He'll be one of the favourites for the Euros in Germany, alongside with the host nation. And France, also Spain after that, maybe the defending champion Italy will be somewhere up there in the top 5 favourites. They weren't favourites to win it last time, though. Show that in about 20-25 days you can put together a decent tournament, you can win a trophy. Manchester City, 24 matches undefeated coming into this. They avenged the matchday 15 loss to Aston Villa by thrashing them by 4-1. Phil Foden with a hat-trick. He's not starting today. And Rodri with the opening goal there. Palace, they lost to Bournemouth away by 1-0. Before that they got the 1-1 draw away at Nottingham Forest. 17th minute here, goes down the right side for City, and then they got a shove in the back and a couple of players losing their footing, including Alvarez, who went into the billboard. It was he who shoved Ledma, trying to pressure him every inch of the field. Both players look okay. Alvarez just apologising to his adversary there as Dean Henderson takes it back to the 6-yard line for a goal kick. Well, Palace goes short here. Haaland is set up with Bob and Alvarez just outside the box. It will go short. Henderson has it. He'll chip it away. It's the right wing. There's a bit of space in between the lines, and it's Munoz for Mateta. Lucky Frenchman looking to dance his way out of trouble. Did dance the dance. Found Wharton. Back to Munoz. Now to the back line. Ward, Anderson and Ledma. It's getting hounded by Bob, so he'll go long. That is an unbelievable pass to find Munoz out in the right wing, and they come towards the edge of the box. Eze has it. Opens it up on the left for Tyrick Mitchell. He'll chip it to the right post. Out comes Ortega. And push it away, and Ayew on the volley from the edge of the penalty area. Puts it about 2 yards over the bar. They are showing a bit of football IQ here, Crystal Palace. Not overwhelmed by Manchester City, taking the game to them. Hit the leads, didn't hold it for that long. Nothing you can do against how good Kevin De Bruyne actually is. He's only got 2 goals this season, but that is definitely the pick of the bunch. A very, very small bunch. Over the years, in 9 years with the club, his best season, 15 goals in 2021-22. As Haaland's been put through, he's in behind. One-on-one, saved by Henderson, and there's a look of disappointment on the Norwegian striker's face. Hasn't scored too many of late, does have 18, does lead the Premier League, but imagine how many he could have had. In from Bob now, and it's taken a touch. Did that come off Wharton? What a ball that was from De Bruyne. Rolled it beyond Ledma. Haaland came in. Ledma breathing down his neck, so he had to get the shot away. Out came Henderson, made himself big, stuck out his right boot, and that's where Haaland put the ball straight into that boot. So it could be quite easily City leading here if Haaland was a bit more ruthless, a bit more lethal. Brilliant start. Selhurst Park, an official broadcast on Flash Score, Live Sport EU Network, matchday 32, 1-1. coming back to the stats after that save from Henderson. 0.59 now is the City XG, although they have a goal. It should be over one, you'd think. But 0.74 for Palace, who have looked okay. And they look like they have a game plan once they get forward under Oliver Glasner. Bob out to the right wing. He's working that space with Lewis. Aze's there. So is Lerma. And it'll be put down the line by Tyrick Mitchell. Chested by Mateta. And he's forced to go towards the boundary line. And quite creatively, he's put that ball into Rico Lewis to win another throw for Palace. Mighty Crystal Palace of South London. They were flying high, the Eagles, but just pegged back a little by City. Attempts a goal, 6-2 in favour of City. 4 shots on target for them as well. Rodri back for Diaz. Still in their own half. Guardiola's side out towards Rico Lewis. Takes it away from Eze. Swinging these long streaks of passes. They're going to go across field now to the left. Haven't seen it there with Grealish for a while. Not since he cut it back for De Bruyne. And he puts it forward for De Bruyne this time. Can't get the cross in. Well defended by Joachim Andersen and Munoz. Back to Andersen, the Danish defender. It's been with Palace for 3 years. Gives it away centre field once more. There's only really one outlet for Palace, and that's Mateta. As they're defending with 9 in front of the keeper in 2 lines. It's a pyramid in defence from Glasner at the moment. Grealish. It's got that trademark style, doesn't it? Just a cut inside. It's Mateta back now, and Grealish is taking a whack to the ankle. He's still down. And he's wailing away. There's a Palace player down as well. I think that's AU. So the referee might have to stop it now. 23rd minute at 1-1. So Munoz got the foot in. Let's see what happened here in back play. Well, it was AU into Gvardiol first, and then later it was Grealish. AU stayed down. So did Grealish, but there was 2 different incidents over maybe 10 seconds apart. Crystal Palace just in this break. Just take a breather. A capacity here of just over 25,000 attendees, and boy, were they on their feet with that finish from Mateta. Guardiola was on the touchline just pacing up and down, and he went and took a seat after watching that go in. He was off the ground with a fist pump, just like Kevin De Bruyne after scoring that goal. He's a creative genius, the Belgian. With a drop ball, it's a shot from Paul Tierney, the referee. Diaz able to shape a ball out towards Bob. It's usually where we would see a Bernardo Silva type player, or maybe a Doku. Neither of those playing after the 4-1 win over Aston Villa. They both started there as De Bruyne and Grealish combine. Defended by Munoz. Guardiola. Centre field now with Diaz 40 yards away from Henderson's goal. He'll try the diagonal ball over the top. He finds Bob. Was he onside? No. So nothing changing in the Premier League standings, except for City getting another point here, equal with Arsenal at the moment, but Arsenal would have the game in hand, and after their 2-0 win over Luton, going to be up against Roberto De Zerbi's Brighton. It's the late game today. Liverpool, after beating Sheffield United 3-1, and take on Manchester United, a mouth-watering contest tomorrow. It'll be 3:30 local time if you're in the UK. And it'll be covered unofficially on Flash Score. And the 25th minute at 1-1. It's with Rico Lewis combining for some quick touches. John Stones, who was at fault for the transitional play by Palace that led to their opening goal, and there's another telegraph pass here picked up by Munoz. Looks a pretty good player. 4 years or 3.5 years with Genk. You can check out his stats on the Fly Score app if you like. So he's come in this 3-4-3 formation for Oliver Glasner, and it's Bournemouth, 1-0 loss. It was a similar formation. In fact, there's no changes at all from that game. City with it again. Palace struggling to find much possession, but when they do get it, they're looking to actually effectuate something. City, of course, do play a bit of tiki-taka at times. Criticised for that. Guardiola obviously having a lot of success with it, but the average bloke was picked off the street to coach the likes of Bayern and Barca, with the likes of Müller and Messi, and now it's Haaland and De Bruyne at Manchester City. We'll probably get a few wins ourselves, so taking nothing away from Guardiola, who is the best coach in the world at the moment, according to the FIFA Best Awards. Just picked Luciano Spalletti. His side now just outside the box. It's a good chip in. Alvarez was waiting, couldn't get there. Lerma was able to take it away from him. Anderson cleared. Mateta stumbling away, keeps his feet, needs to get it back from Eze, gets inside Diaz. Luckily for him, it was Rico Lewis that helped him out. Otherwise, Eze was darting back in with an inverted run. The danger is over for City. And that's what I was saying before. Mateta, in the form he's in, when Palace do get the ball, they can find him, he can construct something, progress down the field, and it's usually fairly direct. Nothing hot-headed about them or impulsive. Good ball for Grealish now down the left. There's a foot race on with Joel Ward at 34 years of age, still showing he's got a bit of pace. Grealish isn't the fastest guy. Joel Ward in his 12th season since leaving Portsmouth. 5 league goals for Palace in those 12 seasons. It's been a bit of a journey for him. Not a journeyman by the direct definition. A journeyman is more a player that goes from club to club. But definitely a journey for him in the red and blue. So a corner off him. In comes De Bruyne, sweeps it in. It's disappointing. A corner in from the left, bounces out, but it's come off Ward once more. Guardiola rubbing his forehead as if he's trying to bring the genie out of the bottle. De Bruyne will have another corner. In from the left, 29th minute. City looking to take the lead here. And again, it's a repeat. Same delivery. And Joel Ward is there to smash it over for a throw this time. Just a hush over the stadium as Palace defending in great numbers for long periods of time. That's what we've come to expect when City come to town and they take on sides that maybe don't have the same technical abilities. Diaz, centre field, can drive it from 40 yards if he wants. In fact, he was going to. Went out to the right with Stones, then Bob. Back to Diaz. He's marauding as if he's a libero. Franco Baresi molds. I guess he has that luxury in this kind of team. Most central defenders, if you look at the likes of Anderson with Palace, they just get to walk around where they want, and they know that Diaz is going to be there at the back. Rodri helping him as well. When they've got the side hemmed in, they're looking to suffocate them. All of a sudden Diaz finds some space and the shot will come from long range from Guardiola. It goes straight into the face. I think that came off AU, who shook it off like it was nothing. No time to shake the head because City have taken the throw ever so quickly. Guardiola again puts his foot on the ball, waits for Wharton to come because he wants that space to open. Rodri ran into it, but they had to go laterally anyway. So Stones. It's Rico Lewis wearing the 82. In front of him is Oscar Bob and the 52. Very similar statures. A little confusing for the commentator. And they'll soldier on. De Bruyne, first time ball. Grealish at a standstill up against Munoz. Goes back inside to Guardiola. It's mainly with the back four plus Rodri for City. He brings it to within 25 yards. Gives it back to Stones. Maybe they need De Bruyne back there in that back four. He can unleash another cracker into the corner from long range. This is lovely. In from Rico Lewis. Across it goes. Behind De Bruyne. And just get there in time. Grealish was in the left half space. And about a foot behind him as well. Now Rodri directly in front. Again they go laterally. Bob lines it up for Stones. It looked as though there might be some contact between he and Mitchell, who just withdrew the challenge at the last second. Now Bob, and again it's Diaz. Stones at right wing. Bob again to the byline. Gets inside Hughes. Goes around. No, Ledman stood his ground. Stuck his foot out in one possession. Then he had to chip and chase as if he's a rugby player towards Mateta. It's as if it's a Manchester City owned ball right now, because no matter what, it's going back to one of their players, the setup that they've got. Bob went to ground. Linesman's flag went up. I think this is a throw, so it's put back to Stones. And again, City will behave in the same way. Guardiola out to Grealish. There's 4 Palace defenders there, but they've got some space a little more centrally. Header away from Mitchell. There's a diagonal ball to the right half space. Rodri now, centre field. He passes it for Diaz. No goals from him, as I said at the top of the broadcast. His pass almost cut off by Munoz. The cohesion and the sacrifice here from a lot of these Palace defenders. They're ensuring that Haaland can't get on the ball, and they've taken it away from him here just as it came in. It was Ledma that put his body on the line and made sure it went out for a corner. So again, City persevering from the right side. We've seen them take it short nearly every time from this end. De Bruyne, and again they go short. Bob back for Alvarez. 8 goals from him this term. Not bad for a player that doesn't start off. Centre for Grealish. Then he curls it back out to De Bruyne. Takes Wharton with him. Alvarez. De Bruyne is stuck out in the wing. Bob is the centre midfielder right now. And Stones comes. Here's Alvarez. He'll drive it at about a metre wide of the left post. But as soon as he had sight of goal, there was a bit of daylight to get it through. It was well done by Stones to drag Ward away from the back line, and there was enough, I'd say about 3 metres, to get the shot away through past Anderson, but it was well wide of the target. So Liverpool on top as it stands, 70 points. Arsenal 68, Manchester City 68, but Arsenal and Liverpool with a game in hand. Bigger fish to fry for City midweek. Real Madrid away, and they'll take on the juxtaposition there between taking on Real Madrid away than having Luton at home. But just for now, it's Will Hughes. No, in transition, he's given the ball back to City. They can come. There's a bit of space for De Bruyne. Haaland. De Bruyne chips it over. It was good sight from him, but it's beyond the run of Oscar Bob, out for a goal kick. 35th minute of the game, 1-1. City away at Palace at Selhurst Park. Match day 32. It's the deft touch from De Bruyne. Won't be happy with the end result. The outcome is a goal kick for the Glazers, but I have to say, Oliver Glasner will be fairly content with the performance from his formation out there. The system he's playing is a 5-4-1 in defence. Mateta lurking up on the halfway line, occasionally getting back. It's nice of the referee to allow the ball to nutmeg through his legs so Rico Lewis could come forward. Back in the centre circle, Ruben Diaz. Not sure which of the two centre-backs gets more touches. I think it's might be Diaz up until now. The statisticians might prove me wrong. I don't have those stats, so probably never know. FiScore has plenty of other stats for those interested. Grealish takes it off Munoz. Back for Guardiola. Now, central location, Rico Lewis. Bob waits on the touchline, won't get it from Stones. Lewis has been told to operate centrally now. So it's that inverted right back. I think it's just a change of direction, a change of tactic. Guardiola just wants maybe someone a little bit smaller to try and weave his way through. Speaking of that, here's Grealish in for De Bruyne. First time touch forward is good, but Guardiola wasn't on the same page, and across comes Anderson to whip it away. They're able to mop up any spillages so far, especially when it comes towards Haaland. So possession in the last 10 minutes, 91% for Manchester City. That's why you starve your opposition enough and you restrict at least their goal-scoring capabilities, increasing yours, but it depends what you do with it. You can have it all day. And we've seen with sides like Napoli in past years, play the best football in Serie A for the best part of a decade, but couldn't win a Scudetto for the life of it until they decided to rebuild, and all of a sudden, despite a little bit of luck, some solid form, and perhaps relying on the likes of Inter and Juventus to be down on Mateta. It's a really good delivery in, but Eze was just the wrong side of the defender. Out comes Ortega. He's been a spectator for the past 20 minutes. They'll roll it forward. Oh, that's given away. Ayew now on the break, just to the outside of the box. It's Ayew who's hit the bar. Unbelievable. He needed to go central towards Mateta. The Frenchman was on the penalty spot, but Ayew went for goal himself, and I guess if it came off the underside of the crossbar and went in, we'd say it was a moment of real brilliance. But they were queuing up Mateta and Eze. The high offensive turnover taken away, and that was also destined for that top corner, and it's just shot up as if a gust of wind has helped it onto the crossbar and over. That's the concern that Guardiola is going to have, because some of his midfielders and defenders can get complacent, as they have here once more. Ayew's won it back, and this time his ball across for Mateta. Find its way to Eze. It's off his foot, and Will Hughes comes in to ensure that Oscar Bob can't get away. City still in their defensive third. I think Palace and Glasner, the coach, have identified one area where they can hit City where it hurts, and we saw City didn't have the numbers when Mateta scored early on, and that was with them again being complacent, tapping the ball forward and not expecting Palace to have the quality to hit them. Hitting our back down the other end. De Bruyne took the attention of Ward away, put it back, and Akanji's starting to warm up. I'm not sure if that's a sign that there's an injury concern on the field. Guardiola bring it across for Diaz. Spots the opportunity to find Rico Lewis. He was just on the edge of the box. He curled it, but went straight at Dean Henderson, the former Manchester United man. Takes it with two hands. Another shot on target, though. Slipped as he hit that. Rico Lewis, second year in the seniors, does have a Premier League goal. As I said, he scored in the reverse fixture on match day 17. Palace scored their way back into that game with Mateta and Olise. good response to the loss against Bournemouth for Crystal Palace here. Can they get through to the half-time break without conceding again? That would make it even better for the faithful Palace supporters. Be a goal for them to take them into the lead, but here's Diaz, lateral Rodri, 30 yards away. Hughes came towards him, so he spreads play out to Rico Lewis once more. Stones still going to work that side. It's Bob, Lewis, and Rodri gets there to the byline. He slipped as he went to cross it. Not sure if he got a push there from Lerma. It's an anti-climax. It's some heavy-duty defending though from Palace here. Just one win in the past 8 matches for them in the Premier League. Winless in the past 4. They've managed 2 draws in the past 4 head-to-heads with City in this competition. It's an opulent bench, to say the least, for Guardiola. Does have Foden sitting on it with Gomez, Kovacic, Nunez, Silva, Doku and Akanji. Akanji warming up at the moment. Maybe that is because it's not the coldest day, I can tell you, by London standards anyway. It's windy, but the wind isn't as freezing, isn't as bitter as usual. And Anderson did well to keep his balance, put the ball forward to Wharton. Here comes Palace again. They're going to come down through Munoz, back in for Wharton again. He's the link-up player as they go from line to line and different positions on the field, but he's playing at right midfield. Hughes at left midfield. Tucks it back for Anderson. Sunshine's out now that I've said that. Haaland going towards Anderson. Just to ensure he had to move the ball on. Now Wharton. Rodri comes to him. Down the right side, it's Ayew with a 1-2 with Munoz. Gives it back to the Colombian. In from the right side. Diaz is there to block the angle, and Ayew left it for Hughes. It's still there to be won. There's a loose ball in the box. Mateta, was he offside? I'm not sure. I don't think he was. In any case, Ortega with the silky skills got it out from under his feet and cleared. The Palace have regained possession. It's a poor ball back, and Rodri will say thank you very much and release Alvarez here. 40 yards away from goal. Mitchell gets the pass from Lerma. And we need more involvement from Eberiche Eze. It's been hardly touching the ball at all. Not who want it to fall through to more than Jordan Ayew, but Ayew's hit the crossbar, so had he scored, Palace hit the leads. Happy days for those at Selhurst Park. 43rd minute, 1-1. Stones. They camped outside that Palace defensive third once more. Diaz. In front of him is Vardiol, but there's 5 Palace defenders just in that one ring. And it's worked out because Mateta found Wharton a way he can cut. He's got a shove from Rodri. I think he knew what he was doing. Might be a yellow card because there wasn't much in it, but Wharton's happy to hit the turf and just make sure Palace can get forward in his last 90 seconds. I think there might be at least a minute or 2 in additional time. Palace have to take on Liverpool away next, and it's West Ham here. Newcastle also here. Fulham away. It's a trip over to the west side of London. Then it's Manchester United here. Wolves away. And match day 38 is Aston Villa at Selhurst. They've taken this free kick and it's at the right wing, near the halfway line. Eze's back there. He's trying to get it on the ball more often. Hughes corralled out to the left wing. Anderson's there. He'll fire the ball in. Player goes down to the penalty spot. I think that was Ayew. Referee saw it and says it's a corner, not a penalty. Palace supporters on their feet. And Mateta is arguing the point here. That's Ayew. He was struck by Vardiol, who had arms over the shoulder. And I think he should be worried here, the Croatian defender. Glasner also looking straight at Gvardiol to say, "You cannot do that, sir." So Portini had that conversation in his ear. Put the bandage on to keep the earpiece in. He said, "No penalty, let's have the corner." Decent delivery, floats all the way over to the back post. But Ortega gets a hand on it, slaps it away. Decision to be made here for Tyrick Mitchell. Back to the keeper, Henderson. We'll pump this. We've got 3 minutes of stoppages. Into attacking spaces. Gvardiol can't deal with the ball that bounced awkwardly. So Palace will have a throw high up on the right side. Can they strike here and strike a real blow to City's total defence? Lerma, centre circle. Haaland just jogging away, trying to keep busy, keep warm. Out to the left now. It's a spearing pass. Mitchell, his ball chopped off by the omnipresent Rodri. Luka Milivojević back for Diaz, clearing ball. A bounce, well, for Lerma. Good angled header back in for Anderson. Ward, simple pass forward, is usually the best. Palace will have another free kick as Jordan Ayew again has taken a hit from behind. This time there's a yellow card. Who's that being shown to? Because he had a couple of players on his back. That's the Croatian that I was talking about before that was lucky not to have been penalised in the box. There's Josko Gvardiol, former Dinamo Zagreb player and RB Leipzig. Keeps shaking his head. I'll have to be careful here because if he gets any more vocal, it might be a second yellow. So Kanji might have to keep warming up. Got another minute of stoppages, I should say. It was class defending from Gvardiol this time, who picked up on a high ball on the edge of the box, headed it back to Ortega. They'll roll it out to Stones. Rico Lewis gingerly bringing it up. He's waiting for Mateta to come so he can find an option. Haaland just jogging on the spot, but instead they go out to the left. I think City will enjoy the reprieve at the break as De Bruyne looking to create something down that left side once more. Magnificent defending by Palace, and it's been a first-class performance from them. It's a half where we've had 2 goals that were unstoppable. So we're coming to the end of the 3rd minute of stoppages. It's a minimum of 3 minutes. Stones 40 yards away. Doesn't want to take on Hughes. Out to Lewis. Back for Diaz. Mateta comes, forcing Diaz to make a decision. That's the whistle that will take us to the break at 1-1 Selhurst Park, match day 32. It's Crystal Palace 1, Manchester City 1. The goals coming from the feet of Jean-Philippe Mateta and Kevin De Bruyne. 3rd minute, responded by the Belgian in the 13th. 10 minutes later, 1 yellow card right at the end. Josko Gvardiol. And Pep Guardiola at this point is in 3rd position. Palace, they won't be moving from 14th, 31 points at this stage, but another half of football coming. We'll be back in about 10 to 12 minutes on Flash Score. Going to have a change at the break. Just seeing Mama Kanji into the fray. Liberty City to kick us off, going from right to left. And they were able to find the equaliser through just the pure brilliance of Kevin De Bruyne. What a player he is. Decent finish from Jean-Philippe Mateta. Clinical, lethal, but outdone. Just it's De Bruyne centre stage as usual. So world-class play. He's still out there, and Wharton gets the ball back as City chip it forward, but it's cleaned up by Palace, and they can come out through the left side. Central ball down the middle of the pitch towards Eze. He needs to get a bit deeper this time, I think. There's a ball now played into the left channel. Mateta's there, offside flag. Stays down. Needs an option. Fires it towards goal. Now I think the flag's gone up. 40 seconds into the half. He ran out of ideas. I think the linesman just should have simply put the flag up because he allowed play to go on, and we ate up another 15 seconds or so. John Stones and Rico Lewis doing the defending. They cut down the angle. The other defenders made sure that there was no outlet for Mateta. Fired wide, but offside call belated. Rodri with it. Centre circle with Diaz. City playing in the away strip. It's a white top with maroon numbers and maroon shorts, white socks. Crystal Palace at home in the red and blue vertical. Blue shorts, blue socks. Akanji. He's in. There's the number 25. He's playing on the left side of the fence. I think it's Guardiola who's gone off. He's a chance! And the goal. And it is again Rico Lewis to deliver a real uppercut to Crystal Palace. He scored against them on match day 17, gets one on match day 32. Crystal Palace 1, Manchester City 2. They have the goal within the first 3 minutes of the second half, and they go above Arsenal with that goal to 70 points, equal with Liverpool. They will keep the pressure on. The three-horse race continues. Kanji involved. It was Grealish out the left. Good ball in, but it came off Anderson's head and fell fortuitously to Rico Lewis. It was very central, just in front of Henderson's goal here. Deflected away from Alvarez. And despite the efforts of both Lerma and Mitchell, goes underneath the two of them, past Henderson into the bottom left-hand corner. And that is how Guardiola and his side are back in the hunt for the Premier League title. Still a treble defence intact. A long way to go, though, as they say. That's the 69th goal for City this season. Arsenal 72, Liverpool with 70. From the kickoff, Palace down the right, Munoz. And hopefully the headers don't go down. They need to make a game of this. It's a free hit, you could say. And Palace would need at least another half a dozen points, you'd think, to ensure their passage through to 2024-25. By no means a team looking for European qualification. It's something for Oliver Glasner to build on, the Austrian coach. So just to confirm, Guardiola, who received a very late yellow cards, second minute of first half stoppages, he did make way. Manuel Akanji comes in. He was warming up before half-time, and he will come on for game number 23 this particular season. He's somewhat of a goal threat, more than Guardiola and Diaz. He's got 2 goals this season so far. Second year since leaving Dortmund. Now come down the left side, and De Bruyne thinks that there's been a foul here. Palace have gotten away with it in any case. I think it's a handball he's asking about. It's on the edge of the box. Referee Paul Tierney is listening to the complaints. De Bruyne watched the ball come over. Well, that has hit the arm, but it's up against the body of Joachim Andersen. So nothing there for City. Rodri with it. Diaz. So Rodri and Diaz is marshalling the troops from the middle of the pitch. Stones to the right side. He's trying to get that tilt going with Lewis and Bob. So many players that can come in for Guardiola and do a job. And now it's Akanji. Gets high up on the left. Grealish behind him. Exchanging positions for now. Akanji still there. He's a much taller and physical target. Rodri, De Bruyne looking to play. Alvarez, Akanji again. City looking for a third goal. They want to get a 2-goal cushion. De Bruyne and Grealish. Grealish with a little hack into the back of Munoz, who got back. And he's watched it out for a goal kick, so well done to the Colombian. Anderson presiding over this, with Anderson Anderson will get it. Goes laterally. Ward. Big clearance to halfway. Headed back from Akanji. Finds Rodri. And the Swiss will work it out with Diaz. Slicky touch from him. Quick movement over towards Stones. Finally gets back to a central defensive position. He was given the responsibility of moving forward last season. He scored a couple of big goals. So just going through the starting lineups for this half. We're 6 minutes into it. It's Bob and Lewis work out right side. It's Latimer. Quick play from Morton. It's quick thinking. Eze has the time of the ball to settle it down. He's a mover and a shaker, and it's Mitchell back in. Rodri gets ahead to it. Wharton, it's there to be one. Latimer, a makeshift left back, is able to wriggle away. Wharton can now find space. There's a good one here. Number 12, Daniel Munoz. It's up against the Kanji. Flicks it inside. It's nowhere near the intended target, which was Eze. And it's hacked away. City, a long ball for Haaland. Joel Ward knows he's right behind him. Still, with the dexterity to find Munoz. So it's City with Ortega in a 4-1-4-1 formation in goal. Diaz, Stones, Lewis and Akanji. Akanji at left back replacing Vardy at the break. Rodri is in the middle with Alvarez, De Bruyne, Oscar Bob on the right wing. Jack Grealish on the left and Erling Haaland up forward. For Palace, Dean Henderson in goal, 3-4-3 in front of him with Joel Ward, Anderson and Latimer, three defenders. Mitchell on the left side of midfield, Munoz on the right, Wharton, Hughes. The two pivots, it's Eberechi Eze, Jordan Ayew and Jean-Philippe Mateta up forward. Mateta, the opening goal of the game. And off the left post. Found the space to get in behind Stones and was able to get Palace off to some level of positivity after a couple of games where they've struggled to get points, 4 without a win. Just that one win in the last 8. Creeping in towards that 9th minute of the second half. So it's all about the energy levels now as Mateta couldn't get the ball away from Diaz. It's here for Lewis. Big chance for Haaland. Around the keeper, but he's been choked off. It's Alvarez. And it's cleared off the line. Hands on the head of some of these City players. Anderson's holding his face here. There was, I think, a high arm from Haaland. He made his way to the ball. He took no prisoners, I can tell you. And then Anderson on the ground, unbelievably clutching at his face. It was Rico Lewis who smashed the ball straight into Anderson that was on the ground in pain. And that's how it was cleared off the line. There were other Crystal Palace defenders behind him. Everyone back on their feet now as Palace has a corner on the right side. They're going from right to left in this half. So now Joel Ward having a word to the referee. It's one of the senior players for Crystal Palace. He's definitely the oldest out there by some margin. Only player in his the 30s, along with Anderson, who's 31. The most senior player for City, De Bruyne. Now from the corner, intelligent for Grealish, who will go a goal in the right boot, and it was always rising. Terrible effort in the end. In line with the left post. Two players bearing down towards him though, so had to make a quick decision. Not deadly enough, not to the level of De Bruyne and Mateta today. Another goal from Rico Lewis. Good finish right in front of goal, about 8 yards out from the bottom right corner. About an hour and 15 minutes, we'll have some of the other kickoffs for you. They'll be broadcast on Flashscore and Live Sport EU. Aston Villa, Brentford, Everton, Burnley, Fulham, Newcastle, Luton, Bournemouth and Wolves, West Ham. Later, 5:30 local time, it's Brighton up against Arsenal. And a lot of City supporters will be waiting for that one to see if Brighton can stall Arsenal. Many expecting them to capitulate. And many seeing Manchester City as the only threat to Liverpool and vice versa. But Arsenal may surprise everyone. City with it, still playing tiki-taka. Out to the left, Akanji. It was the right option to find Grealish, but it's been hit. Well, you could say it's been overhit. There's new boots coming up for someone as Crystal Palace are about to take a goal kick. Might be Jean-Philippe Mateta that wants them. The Palace supporters still vocal, still believe that they can get a result. Eze off the outside, toes it forward towards Mateta, cleared by Stones. Out to the right now with Rico Lewis, Oscar Bob. It's won a throw. City with a string of undefeated matches into the mid-20s. And they expect that from it. It's all about continuity. And that's what you need if you're going to win big trophies. They are the current English champions, the current European champion. The world's best coach according to FIFA. So now, back inside from Grealish. Rodri thought about the chip over the top to find Haaland, but he's still being marked by Lerma, so he's got the height advantage here. Will coming towards him, but Lerma was there. Eze, Mitchell. They're being suffocated here. Hughes into Bob. Now it's Grealish, 25 yards out, and Rodri through the legs of the keeper, who was awake. Akanji, Rodri, 30 yards out to the right side. Bob can find his compatriot in the box. Haaland, no, they go backwards again. It's waiting for the right time. It's so compact at the back from Palace. Bob once more up against Hughes, trying to surprise the English midfielder. It's double teamed. And here comes Mitchell. Now Eze, the spin to get away from Rodri, who did well to track back, and Mitchell again through to Eze. Again tries to spin, was triple teamed this time, and away comes Julian Alvarez, World Cup winner. Crystal Palace are no easy beats, but Julian Alvarez part of that forward line, and he's scored 4 or 5 goals in the World Cup as De Bruyne will try and find him in the box over the head of Haaland, and from the left side, settled down by Bob, Lewis inside of him. And instead we'll find John Stones. Diaz. Familiar setup for Guardiola here, looking to lay siege. They've surrounded the castle. Grealish now, in from the left. De Bruyne will go for the curler. Oh, that was lovely to watch. It didn't have enough to bring it back, if you could imagine. He started at about 2 meters outside the right post. It ended up about half a meter wide, but the trajectory on that was beautiful. Super performance from the former Wolfsburg and Chelsea and Genk player. Tenacious in midfield. They've been reliable for the most part. It's just a couple of cock-ups in the back line that have allowed City in from time to time. Dean Henderson pulling off a couple of masterful saves. Ortega has been a passenger since about that first half an hour of the game. Did have one hairy moment where he had to spin away with the ball at his feet to get it away from Mateta at the end of the first half. Managed to do so. We're an hour in now. Crystal Palace trailing at home by 2-1. Manchester City finding a goal to get ahead right at the start of the second half. They've had 4 attempts to nil since the break. You can find the flash score stats there if you want. Grealish inside for De Bruyne. Haaland lays it back. It's Alvarez still going with passing. The chip back into Haaland. It'll go backwards towards the spot. And Grealish, he wasn't ready. Splendid play from City. We'll go back into the middle. Stones, delicate pass. Julian Alvarez. One too many touches. Tyrick Mitchell. Alvarez looks to atone. Good pressure. Eze now. Forward to Mateta. Holds it up. Spins away from Bob. Referee says no foul. The big Frenchman was... the dexterity is simply amazing, but he's gone into Rodri. The Spaniard went down and stayed down. Wouldn't want to collide with Mateta on the pitch. He's got the stature of a basketballer and the upper body of perhaps a rugby winger. Palace might be about to make their first change. Is that Edouard that might come in? So they've got Olise there, Edouard, and also Ozo if they want to use him. Another forward by the name of Franco Ume, who still yet to make his Premier League debut. Might get a chance. 8 goals in the under-21s with 1 assist. Stats there on flash score for you to see. Away. Rodri's up. Shift the ball out to the left wing. Kanji into the attacking half with Rodri. Grealish at a standstill. Munoz lowers his leg so he can't get nutmegged. So Grealish takes another 4 or 5, 6 touches. Kind of play you like if you like static play. But a quick thinker. He's always thinking, Grealish. Keeping or rotating in for Foden, you would say. Not sure he's keeping Foden out because Phil Foden coming off a hat-trick against Aston Villa, which is a top 4 side. Still are a top 4 side and could be overtaken by Tottenham at some point. With 2 points behind them, but it's Eberiche Eze will come out. His afternoon is over. No goals. He's got 6 for the season, and Schlupp will come on. City back with it. Grealish. 65th minute. Crystal Palace 1. Manchester City 2. And the first change of the game for the home side. Eberiche Eze off. Jeffrey Schlupp into the game. And Ghanaian is on for appearance number 23 this term. 1 goal, 1 assist. All the live stats are there to be seen on the app itself or the website for Flash Score. Grealish back heel out to Rodri, who's located on the left side. He's planted the ball straight into the noggin of Munoz. Diaz. Trying to take the life out of the game right now, City. I'm sure they're trying to bore the spectators here, the Crystal Palace home fans. But situation where they're happy to maintain. They've always got someone free, ready to receive a pass. Back for Akanji now. Guardiola won't really care. It's about the result more than the performance. De Bruyne made the run towards Anderson. Would have needed a 30-meter pass. Instead it's with Diaz. Haaland still being starved of possession. Grealish in from the left. Haaland now makes the run to the right post. Grealish De Bruyne across the middle. There is a goal, and it is Erling Haaland to put it away. Crystal Palace 1, Manchester City 3. It was good movement by the big Norwegian. He started out towards the right post, then pivoted away, came towards the left, received the short pass, and it was a half-empty net. Henderson nowhere to be seen. And they have picked the lock and ripped the door open. Full turnaround with some daylight now. Crystal Palace were leading 1-0 after 4 minutes. That's a good run from De Bruyne. Stayed onside. Anderson kept him on. But Grealish once more involved. And it was a cheeky pass for De Bruyne, even cheekier into the middle from the left half space. And Haaland was able to turn home from about 4 yards. Goal number 19 for the season. De Bruyne with the assist after scoring the equaliser today. And that is the first goal for Erling Haaland since the game against FC Copenhagen. Did score against Manchester United in round 27. I think referee just checking the offside here. So Haaland's last goal, the third goal of a 3-1 win over Manchester United in the Premier League, that is. And of course scored in 3-1 win over FC Copenhagen, also the third goal. So none of them have been match winners. Doesn't matter. He needs to keep his form up, and City will want him in good shape for the upcoming trip to Real Madrid. Had a good string of goals. He came out and blitzed Luton all by himself. 5 goals in the one game, and then 2 more games after that consecutively. Good cross in from the left, and Palace have to deal with that. It's glanced away. It'll be kept in by Rico Lewis. City with it on the right side. De Bruyne playing a central midfield role now. He's heavily involved. Rodri is a bit more advanced, playing with De Bruyne usually would, just to the central part of the field where Grealish stands. Now Akanji out to Alvarez. Everyone manoeuvring, trying to confuse the issue for Palace. Can they get them while they're staggering around with another one? Scored 4 against Villa. Can they get 4 here? Diaz. Peel back into their own half now. De Bruyne is playing at left back. But I think the tactic is get it to the Belgian, and he can deliver sublime balls out to Rico Lewis, just like that one. Inside was Oscar Bob, unused because Palace had chopped off that option. Mateta. They need 2 goals, Palace. And with that, they've equalled the amount of goals Liverpool have scored. City at 70 for the season. Is Grealish. Good ball back inside. De Bruyne makes it 4-1 with a fabulous drive on the left boot. He was just timing his run the right millisecond, and Grealish involved again. Crystal Palace are trailing by 3 goals now at Selhurst Park. It is the De Bruyne show. Started the move off to fire a 50-metre diagonal pass out to the right wing, and eventually the ball found its way to the left. Grealish didn't have much on. De Bruyne received from Grealish, put the ball back into the left half space. Then he knew Grealish would take his customary trademark 5 touches, and then it's come back in towards Rodri. That is fabulous. Rodri to De Bruyne. And it's hit that from about, let's say, 16 yards, just outside the left post, and driven it down low. Henderson didn't stand a fighting chance at all. It's technical brilliance once more. Fluid play from Manchester City. And now they do have Crystal Palace staggering around their own pitch. This is a boxing ring. Not sure they'd be getting up. Travelling contingency from Manchester here. They wouldn't have been happy after the first few minutes of the game, but De Bruyne, Rodri, Grealish have got the luxury of so many different options, not just on the pitch but off the bench. And then the young players that come in, Lewis and Bob. Lewis with a goal again, the second of the season, both coming against Palace. Haaland also on the score sheet, 70th minute goal for De Bruyne. That's his brace. He's on a hat-trick now. And can he emulate the Phil Foden efforts of matchday 31 against Aston Villa? De Bruyne on the ball. I think he'll want to stay on the pitch at least for another 5 minutes. Long-term injury kept him out for a large part of the season. It's game number 11 for him. What a player he is. And he's on the ball again. That's 3 goals and 5 assists for De Bruyne. And from the left again, it's Grealish. Palace, I don't want to say they've given up, but they've definitely given the ball away to Haaland. In from the left towards Rodri, who was able to find a bit of space. It's just cut off at the last second. City looking for a 5th goal now. Good header across from Stones, and Akanji forward to De Bruyne. So the magic in the boots as usual. Grealish, De Bruyne, slid over but still found Alvarez. Akanji, 30 yards away. Over the top of AU. It's almost as if Crystal Palace, through their body language, has conceded that they just need to stop bothering to get on the pitch and put everybody behind the ball. There's going to be a triple change for Palace and a double change for City, so bear with me here because I've got to make a couple of alterations to my team sheets. Rodri will be given the next 17 minutes off to prepare for a trip up against Jude Bellingham's boys. Kovacic will take his place. Alvarez also will exit the field. And it's Núñez coming on. That's Manchester City's changes. Now it's here for Oliver Glasner. It's a real anti-climax for him. Jordan Ayew coming from the field. And it's Olise coming in to get some minutes. On the far side, so Arteta also coming. So his game over, 74th minute change for him. Edouard is on. So Mateta, Ayew and Mitchell come off. Edouard, where's number 22? Klein, number 20, or number 17, I should say. Don't want to confuse Crystal Palace supporters. He hasn't changed his number. But that is 5 changes all at the same time. And it's Nathaniel Klein, 33 years old now. So we'll see where he's deployed out there as City retain possession. Hughes doesn't have Edouard in position. Back is De Bruyne. Is he playing as a centre-back? I guess it doesn't really matter as long as you've got a player with the right shirt on. Diaz, Kovacic and Akanji now just wandering back to mark up on Olise and Edouard. Olise on the right side of attack by the look of things. Edouard in the middle. And Schlupp looks like he's on the left side of midfield. Sliding challenge from Núñez. Fell kindly for Ward. Now it's with Anderson, and Palace can mount something here. There is some fresh legs though, so Núñez is doing his best to sprint around and pressure. So Ledman goes long. Klein is out there on the left side of defence by the look of things. in for game number 12 this season. Crystal Palace in 2020 after leaving Bournemouth. A fair whack of games for Liverpool and Southampton before that. It's his second stint at Palace. He spent 2010 to 2012 at Selhurst Park before leaving. And Michael Olise, 22 years of age. French attacker will come on. It's replacing Eze. 12th game of the season, 6 goals, 3 assists. And this is season number 3 for him since he left Reading. Another one is Odsonne Edouard. There's the number 22. He's another French attacker. 6 goals so far. It could be his best season if he gets one today. It would be the most he's ever scored in the Premier League. To get 6 goals in 2021-22. To be consistent, 6, 5 and 6. So if he gets another goal this season, it would be the best since he left Celtic. He started off with Toulouse, worth 19 million euros according to the Fast Score website. Now it's Akanji for Grealish. De Bruyne touched it on for Haaland but was off target. Grealish in centre field. He was clipped by Will Hughes. There wasn't much in it, but apologetic is this Palace midfielder, 28 years old, 3rd year since leaving Watford. There's another foul with Wharton. That's on Nunez, taken very quickly. 78th minute, Crystal Palace 1, Manchester City 4. All over the top, Nunez is there, tries the volley in from a tight angle on the right half space. First time attempt. It did bounce once after entering the penalty area. He tried his luck, and why not? They're on a roll. 4 goals unanswered here at Selhurst Park for City since going 1-0 down. Put forward by Anderson over the halfway line, and Edouard is prevented from getting the ball by Ruben Diaz. Sensational defender. City go to the right side. It's Nunez on the ball. Touches that back for Stones. And just the setup they've got, it's Kovacic just in front of Diaz, Stones, Akanji, and Nunez is doing all the running. Grealish. The ball stolen by Munoz. Palace had the overload there. If they could have found the central ball for Olise, but it was a good interception. Diaz making sure that Palace couldn't get through to have another shot. Haven't had one this half. You can see the stats on the Flash Score app for those of you who want to know. It's it's been a sorry old half. 8 attempts for City, 0 for Palace. Only 19% of the ball. So they've come out and really turned it on. Statement of intent to show Liverpool and Arsenal that they mean business. They're not going to give up their title that easily. It's up to Liverpool now. The onus is on them to win every single game. They'll be playing Manchester United tomorrow, who will be a little still getting over, you could say. Well, Palace have won it back here. Big chance here for Edouard. How did he not score there? What a save from Ortega. He just kept his central position. Edouard tried to pick out the bottom right corner. It was a high turnover here because Diaz had found Akanji, and he lost possession. Well done by Munoz. Went to Olise, and I'd say about 8 yards away. Well done by Munoz to get the ball from Akanji's feet, toe poke it to Olise. They're still coming, Palace. Persistent here, tenacity. Been an injection of energy thanks to those 3 substitutions coming on as De Bruyne looks for the back heel to Haaland. Might be a shot on here for Sloop, and it goes straight to the keeper once more. That's 2 chances in the past 30 seconds. So well done to Palace. They're finally on the board for goal attempts with 2 shots on goal as well. Can they find something here? Can they dig deep in the last 10 minutes? The game is good as over, but one quick goal there for Edouard just would have reopened the door a little, maybe at least taken the dead latch off the door. De Bruyne has been flawed here, and this is an issue for De Bruyne and for Guardiola, because he's on a hat-trick, so you want to leave him out there. You don't want to risk another injury for Kevin De Bruyne, not at 4-1. Just ran into the back of Adam Wharton. So Will Hughes gets a handshake from his coach. Number 29 is, forgive me if I get this wrong, he's a French midfielder. He's in for game number 17. The first name is what I'm worried about here. Naouirou Ahamada, 22 years old, game number 17, and let's see what he can do in his final minutes. Where's he slipped into? Straight into centre midfield where Will Hughes was. It's his second season at Palace since leaving Stuttgart, Juventus under 19 and under 23. In comes Olise. Good physical defending there from Akanji. Palace have got a corner though from the right side. 84th minute we tick into. It's a free kick, so it's gone against Olise there. Ruben Diaz told to roll the ball back a couple of metres to where the foul actually happened. It's Ortega. Spears a ball forward. Oscar Bob was waiting. He's outdone by the header from Nathaniel Klein. 13 years, Oscar Bob senior, from the Liverpool man. Oscar Bob has got the 1 goal, 1 assist this season. City youth player, 27 goals there. An ex-Vålerenga player. It's in Norway, €24 million value. Just going back to Ahamada, that's come on for Will Hughes for Palace. His 17th involvement this season. No goals in the Premier League, no assists since joining in January 2023. He get 2 goals in the Bundesliga and 2 assists for Stuttgart. So he does have some experience at senior level. Just can't break into the first side though. He's been used for half a season off the bench. 4th change, it's a 5th change actually for Oliver Glasner. So Pep Guardiola just running the hand through the beard. A little pensive. He's still got 2 more substitutions up his rolled up sleeve. Be descriptive as possible there. It is an audio broadcast. Now De Bruyne out for Akanji from Diaz. His first time ball was rolled over towards Grealish. It's rolled out over the touchline. Quick throw taken. Anderson in for Ahamada. Through the middle, it was hopeful when it came off. Wharton, Ahamada spreads play. This is good. Out to Schlupp, in from the left. Oh, it's a goal here for Palace. It's come off Edouard. He's finally got that goal. He makes up for that glaring miss about 5 minutes ago. Crystal Palace 2, Manchester City 4. Match day 32 at Selhurst Park. And at this point, Palace have the first and the final goal of the game, and just restores a little bit of hope and belief for them. Their next game is away at Anfield. So they're helping out Liverpool today. They'll try and thwart them next week, but What a finish that is from Edouard. Just flung his foot out at that left post. It was a good delivery from Jeffrey Schlupp. 5 yards out from Ortega's goal. And he had to whip that right boot at it, Edouard, and turn home a first-time volley, you would call that. 86th minute reply, and they chop it back to 4-2. Imagine if he did score that goal earlier. They've had nothing in this second half up until the 80th minute, Palace. They've looked okay. 7 minutes of decent football. Imagine what they could do with 14. City, though, is so tough to get the ball from. They can't prize it off the feet. Here's Kovacic. One more goal would make it interesting. That's for Palace I'm talking about, of course. De Bruyne on a hat-trick. That's the other subplot here. Might be the main narrative for the final few minutes. As Minos intercepts and Wharton nonchalantly flicks it over the top. It's still Palace in the centre circle, though, and lovely ball out for Olise. 2 to beat, though. Grealish getting there. Out-muscled Olise. Came away with it. Carried at 30 metres. Haaland brings it back for Nunes. The run from Bob into the wrong area. Well done from Schlupp to chop off the angle, and Ahamada as well. Seconds ticking down now. There's not really much of a scare for City, but one goal here might take the wind out of the sails, leaving them with a 4-3 win. Not quite the same amount of gloss. A win 4-1 or 4-2. Grealish curls it towards that left corner flag, and Anderson wins a corner off Tejas Nunes. Quickly gets it back to Dean Henderson, the keeper. I think Anderson's trying to spark something here. Some belief about maybe if they can find another goal, they could mount some kind of comeback, maybe get a 4-4 draw. I'm not so sure. City were just too good. Looking to extend that undefeated run today at Manchester City. It would just be another win, another notch on the belt for Guardiola, wouldn't it? Not for Oliver Glasner. To be something to remember for his whole career. 2 weeks' time, Guardiola probably won't even remember, as the ball comes in from Olise and very nearly headed home by Schlupp, who was provider last time. This time, combining with the other substitute that came on with him. Olise came in from that right side, curled in on the left boot, crossed to the left half space, and it's gone about half a metre beyond Schlupp's head. Real whip. It was an inviting delivery, but I think Schlupp needed to either be running at full tilt or be about half a metre taller. 90th minute. It's a late scare for Stefan Ortega. Here comes Bernardo Silva just to chop a bit of time. No real necessity to make another change for Pep Guardiola. Sometimes doesn't make any. But Bernardo Silva probably will come on for Oscar Bob. Trying to get a glimpse at the sign down there. Ward back for Anderson in his own 18-yard box. Haaland comes to him. He's going to see out the game, I think. Evan Haaland. Ball sent forward by Henderson, gets to the chest of Schlupp. It's been quite impressive since coming on. It's an ambitious-looking Manchester City side. Palace just looking to maintain their top-flight position. Here's a good run from Nathaniel Clyde. Kept it in. Couldn't find Ahamada. That's come off Rico Lewis. So a corner out the left side. Applause here at Selhurst Park for the home side. 7 minutes of added time in the second half. I don't think Pep Guardiola will be happy with that, unless it was currently locked up with level score. Here's Olise at the left corner flag. Caress it in to a central location over the head of Edouard and away by Rico Lewis. Now Lerma. Ahamada out on the left. Wants to go inside the man. It's Kovacic. Ahmada gets the shot away. It bounces once and safely into the gloves of Stefan Ortega. Good movement from Ahmada to get inside Kovacic. Right boot. The effort straight to the keeper though. That was the only path through. Now here is the chance for Kevin De Bruyne. Oh, it's a shocking final touch. It looked like he was through to get his hat-trick, but Anderson recovered only just. It was Joel Ward that didn't know that De Bruyne was coming. He nicked it away from him, ran at 15 yards into the box. It was the final touch that allowed Anderson to get in the way, and that will be the end of De Bruyne for the afternoon. He relinquish the armband to Ruben Diaz. De Bruyne will get a standing ovation from the Manchester City fans here in attendance at Selhurst Park. What an afternoon. It's effortless from him as usual. One of the world's best players. On his day, the best. Bernardo Silva will come on. What a way it would have been to exit the field with a hat-trick there. I'll take the corner. Grealish. In the 93rd minute, back to Akanji. Diaz on the ball. Akanji once more. It's now Oscar Bob that's gone over to the left side. I think he's over there because of the corner. Grealish went straight back to halfway instead of trying to get the ball in. Are they interested in getting a fifth goal? We'll find out in the next few minutes. Oscar Bob straight into Joel Ward, who means business, sending the ball out of play. Just trying to shake them up at the end here and unsettle Manchester City. They've been able to stress the defence of Crystal Palace, fracture them at times. We saw there with De Bruyne. He pinched the ball away from Ward, tried to wiggle through, got to the edge of the box, wasn't able to keep his cool just for once. He's a man, Kevin De Bruyne. As we found out with that injury, he's not immortal. So Rico Lewis has been fouled by Ahmada there. Still in the Manchester City defensive half. Don't forget later, we've got the Derby della Capitale. I'll be taking you through it, 5 p.m. local time, Roma Lazio. And for those of you who want to stay on the Premier League, got some more games coming up for you after this. As City lead Palace by 4 goals to 2. And that is Oscar Bob that will take a throw. Everton are at home to Burnley, Villa at home to Brentford, Fulham at home to Newcastle, Luton hosting Bournemouth, and Wolves at the Molineux against West Ham. Later the kickoff at 5:30 will be Brighton and Arsenal. So a high ball centre field. Haaland couldn't get there. It's Munoz's pass back for Anderson, who goes long. It's the only option. Olise runs towards a long ball in a fight with Akanji. Waited for Munoz to get there. It's a long way, big distance to cover. Now Silva, forward to Haaland, back for Silva. Some space for Grealish. He'll take it over towards the touchline. Now that's a disappointing finale, but I think it's offside. Was there a clash? It's Jefferson Ledma that's holding his nose here. Is Haaland at fault? Let's see here on the replay. Haaland into Lerma. It was a scuffle after Haaland had already laid it off back for Silva. And then Lerma and Haaland just confronting each other. Not sure there's much benefit in there trying to get Haaland sent off, but this is competitiveness at the highest level, and Ledman's never going to back down, even if you know that you're on the receiving end of, I don't want to say a lesson in football, not by the scoreboard anyway. Palace have managed 2 goals, and there's only so much defending you can do against City without conceding. Starved of the ball for much of this half. Referee Paul Tierney now is getting involved. Joel Ward is trying to sort it out with Haaland. Haaland's not the kind of player that's going to be intimidated. He towers over everyone else. Still only 23 years old. It feels like he's been around for a long time. I remember his days at RB Salzburg. I was wondering who would pick him up back then. It ended up being Dortmund, and then they have sold him on for 60 million euros. He's still going, Haaland, with Anderson here. Maybe he's saying, just giving him a demonstration of what happened with Ledma. Apparently, according to Haaland, has just given him an old jab in the rib cage, maybe. I don't know if that would be worse for Haaland or if it's going to hurt the fist of Ledma. But here's Grealish into the box. Is there something at the end for him? He has thrashed that over the top and to the side of goal. A disappointing finish. I'm not sure if he was on balance. But he's not that reliable in front of goal, is he? A smile on his face. I think if it was 1-1, that he wouldn't be able to look back at the touchline and get a smile from Guardiola. That's the end of the game here. We're at the end of the 7th minute, and it's good to see Oliver Glasner, despite losing, Belgian in the 13th. 10 minutes later, 1 yellow card right at the end. Josko Gvardiol. And Pep Guardiola at this point. World-class performance. He is the MVP today, undoubtedly, but it's been a solid effort for Manchester City. They will face Real Madrid midweek in the Champions League before hosting Luton on match day 33. They are defending European champions and Premier League champions. We'll see if they can defend the treble. The FA Cup coming up against Chelsea at Wembley after the second leg back at home against Real Madrid. So do stay with us on Flashscore for all of those broadcasts. The unofficial Premier League broadcast today, match day 32. Crystal Palace, they'll face Liverpool away next, and then West Ham at home. They lose by 2-4, and it all started well for them. Mateta with the opening goal of the game. Then it was De Bruyne with the reply. It was 1-0 at half-time. Rico Lewis, his second goal in as many games against Palace to get City into the lead at 2-1. 47th minute. Haaland made it 3-1 in the 66th. Then De Bruyne in the 70th. Got his brace. Also got an assist for Haaland's goal. And Edouard, after missing from right in front in the 86th minute, was able to bring it back to 4-2. But that is the final score here at Selhurst Park, match day 32.